Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, and today I'm going to be bringing you a review of Thor Ragnarok. This is the latest movie from Marvel Comics in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and yeah, we're just gonna talk about it. I don't know how long this video is really going to be, because there might not honestly be that much I can talk about with this film. I'm gonna say right now I'm not really gonna get into spoilers. I just don't feel like it. And also, normally when I do a movie review, a movie review like this, I generally have like a list of specific topics to talk about, and normally there are time codes in the description. But I'm not doing that this time around. Yeah, I'm just not really gonna do that. I'm just gonna kind of talk. I also don't have, at least I don't see it over here. Yeah. I don't have the paper that I normally have that gives me all the topics to talk about. So we're just gonna talk about Thor. So let's get into the plot. For this, it's 2 years after the events of Age of Ultron. Excuse me, oh, my throat just got all clogged up for a second there. So yeah, it's after the events of Age of Ultron. Thor is returning to Asgard, and he sees that Loki is basically on the throne, posing as Odin, and so they go to find Odin. Odin is in Norway, and he basically says, like, upon my death, your sister will be released. And they're like, what sister? And it's like, basically, Odin's firstborn, Hela, the goddess of death, who was imprisoned long ago, I'm assuming before the birth of Thor and Loki, because they don't really know who she is. They've never heard of her, despite her being their sister. So yeah, Odin dies, she's released from her prison because she was evil and stuff, and she's like, I'm going to take over Asgard. And Thor's like, nope, throws hammer, catches it, she breaks the hammer. And which is kind of a bit more of a sadder death than Odin. Not to say that Odin's death is bad or anything, which, by the way, this might sound like spoilers, but this is like the first 15 or so minutes. Yeah, and basically I can't tell you the main plot without telling you this stuff. So yeah, it's not really spoilers. I guess the most spoilery thing, because like in the trailer you saw Thor's hammer being destroyed. I suppose the only spoilery thing is Odin's death, but I don't know. The thing is, it doesn't leave, well, it leaves an impact like on the characters and on everything, but I don't know how I can describe this. It's not that it's poorly acted, far from it. They're all acting amazingly in this scene, but I don't know, something about it is like, maybe because we didn't have a whole lot of Odin in the previous movies, I didn't really feel a connection to him, so when he dies, I don't feel that bad. But when Thor's hammer is destroyed, I do kind of feel bad, because that felt like a character, you know, like an important character. Not to say that Odin is not an important character, he's not, you know, acted well, is that, I don't know, maybe it's just that there's more of a connection to Thor's hammer. I don't know. Ooh, that's good. Alright, so she destroys the hammer, she goes and takes over Asgard, basically. Thor and Loki end up in this sort of like trash planet, kind of. It's not really a trash planet, but it's basically like a place, it looks like a junkyard, but it's kind of like a scavenger's place. Like, there are all these people that go around, they collect stuff, and basically prisoners, or people who end up on this planet, are taken as prisoners, and basically they are forced to fight in a gladiator style arena. So Thor gets his hair cut off, that's another sad thing, and he basically is like, okay, the only way to get out of here is to face the big champion, you know, the great champion of this place. And okay, I suppose this can start to be seen as spoilers. This is kind of in the trailer, but I guess just to be safe, spoiler alert right here. Hopefully it says spoiler alert right here. Hopefully I remember to edit that. Because now that I'm really thinking about it, I might get into a couple spoilers, but probably not. Like, I'm probably not going to go into the end. I'm just going to kind of set things up. So, spoiler alert, just in case I let something slip that you deem too spoilery. So, he goes to fight the grand champion of this place, and that turns out to be Hulk, who has basically remained Hulk since the events of Age of Ultron. He never shifted back into Banner. And so they have this big epic fight between Thor and Hulk, and basically afterwards they do kind of team up again, and at a point Hulk does recede back into Banner, and it's kind of jarring at first for Banner because he basically, like, he doesn't remember anything that happens when he's Hulk. So he basically has missed the past 2 years while Hulk has been, in the driver's seat. So he's still like, whoa, did we defeat Ultron? What happened? What happened with Sokovia and stuff? And Thor is like, that was 2 years ago, man. You've been Hulk for 2 years. So they team up. They also team up with this girl named Valkyrie. And she, used to be a Valkyrie in Asgard. She's Asgardian. And she also has some beef with Hela. If I didn't say the bad guy's name, it's Hela. And yeah, and then the three of them team up, and they also take Loki with them, because Loki's in this fully. I did mention Loki at the beginning, but yeah, Loki is still in this. And it's kind of the four of them team up to go against Hela. So that's basically the plot. I'm not going to really give anything else away, like the ending or anything. So just to kind of talk about the film, honestly, there's not a whole lot to talk about. It's like there's not a lot here that I can actually like analyze or theorize about stuff, like there would be with other things, I guess. I'm not really sure how a better way of saying that, I guess, but there's not a whole lot to talk about because honestly, the only thing I can say is this is a really good movie. It's really fun. All the characters are great. Everyone is just like acting their heart out. Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Idris Elba as Heimdall. I forgot to mention he's in this. Mark Ruffalo, Cate Blanchett. They're all just really good. And a great thing with this is that a lot of people complain that the villains in Marvel movies are not that great. I would say that Hela is pretty great. Yeah, there's nothing... See, the thing is, it's like, she's almost like Loki 2.0, kind of. Because a lot of people say, like, well, the best Marvel villain is Loki. And to be fair, he kind of is. He's pretty good. It's kind of the same thing. It's like, here's a sibling of Thor that wants to usurp the throne, or usurp, however you say that, who wants to take the throne from him, and it's just that she is a whole lot more powerful, and just every moment she's on screen, she's just enjoying it. Like, someone put it best, like, well, we know how she's going to destroy Asgard because she keeps chewing up the scenery. She's basically just going to eat it, because she's basically just yucking up every moment she's on screen, and she is loving it. And she's great. She's a real joy in this movie. She's really fun. And all the characters are fun. Karl Urban is not in this as much as I thought he would be, and his role is not that big, but when he's on screen, it's fun. Jeff Goldblum is in this. He's a lot of fun. It's just a very good, fun movie. I remember someone pointed out from the trailers, like, oh, this looks like this is going to be a fun Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I mean, Thor. It's like, yeah, that does kind of... You can kind of get that, because, you know, there is space travel and lasers and 80s music and stuff like that. I would understand where someone was coming from that, but it does feel different enough because despite all that, you know, lasers, spaceships, distant planets, 80s music and stuff, it's like, this is still completely based in the Norse mythology, which is really cool. I really like that. That's kind of one of my favorite things about this, is that, yes, it is basically a space adventure. It's a space adventure with Norse gods, and it's really cool and really fun. I suppose, yeah, there's kind of not really much else I can talk about. It's just really good. It's great effects, it's great cinematography, the fight scenes are great, well written, well acted, it's just really, really good. Yeah, there's not a whole lot else I can talk about. Honestly, well, with the exception of maybe if they ever wanted to do a fourth Thor movie and they made it like this, I'm open to it. Because I feel like with the first movie was good as a setup for Thor, and I feel like this is almost what we needed for Thor 2. Not exactly the same, you know, we didn't need the same plotline or anything, but if we could have had this amount of fun in Thor 2, because Thor 2, and I like Thor 2, but I would agree that with a lot of people that it's kind of dull and kind of just toned down, or it's not fun like this movie is. So yeah, if they ever want to do a fourth Thor movie, I am open to that because I like these characters. I like all of this. A good number of these characters are going to be in Infinity War coming up in May, so I'm totally on board with that. If you know, bringing all of them in, Thor, Hulk, Valkyrie, Loki, bring them all in. Bring in Karl Urban if you want to. Bring in Jeff Goldblum. Bring in, oh, that's kind of it, isn't it? Oh, Heimdall. That's right. Heimdall, who plays, he basically plays a small part in this, but it's still pretty good. He's not vital to the story, but he was still there and he was still good, so, yeah, as I scratch my beard. Yeah, that's basically it. Honestly, there is nothing else I can say about this movie. It was good. It was great. I want to see it again. You should go see it. Yeah, short review, but that kind of happens. So, yeah, that's basically it. Stick around for later in the day when... oh boy. I am actually about to review Season 1 of Marvel's Inhumans. Whew, that'll be something. So if you want to stick around, that video will probably be posted maybe an hour later, an hour after this video. So yeah, that's basically it. End cards are going to pop up right about now. You can click on those. You can follow 7th Hour Films on Twitter at 7th Hour Films. And I guess probably this one, if you check back at the right time, this should be Marvel's Inhumans review. So yeah. See you guys then. I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and this is where I say see you guys then again.